What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of NBA action here on Saturday, December 6th. I'll give out my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game and look at some player props, and I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, is looking like a pretty brutal one. We had Denver minus 7.5 to get things started. They laid a massive egg there in the first quarter of this game, then proceeded to dominate the second half. Eventually, they win 134 to 133, outscoring the Hawks by 20 points in the second half. If they just wouldn't have come out so flat, none of this would have been a problem, and they probably would have gotten the cover for us. So that's pretty irritating. We had the Jazz plus 15.5, obviously a big underdog play, but a massive down night there from Utah. Turns out we can't really be backing them on the road. That being said, the Knicks had a massive outlier shooting night, making 21 threes and shooting 56% from the field. No one's going to keep that kind of game too close. The Jazz get waxed in that one. We had the Clippers minus 1.5, and I guess we should not be surprised to see the Clippers blow a halftime lead. They continue to just completely mail it in on their entire season. Thought this was a good spot for them to find a win, but as usual, they just continue to find ways to lose constantly. We have the Mavericks live at plus 15.5. They're at halftime right now, but with all the calls that SGA is getting here in the first half of this game, I feel like there's almost no chance the Mavs can make this one close unless, they get the backdoor cover, which is always a live thing there in those Thunder games when they pull everybody. So we'll see how that goes, but the refs seem like they have already bet on OKC to win and cover in that game, but we'll see what happens. We had the Spurs plus 5.5 as our dog of the day. That was a terrible beat for us on the Spurs. They go into halftime leading by 8 points and get outscored 44 to 19 in the third quarter. Can't even keep things close to competitive with basically the whole squad having a massive bounce back game there for the Cavaliers. Mobley has had a monster game despite apparently almost missing this one due to illness. So I don't know how much we can really trust that, but we do cash our lock of the day. We had Boston on the money line as the lock of the day. We also liked him a lot, minus 7, minus 7.5, all that kind of stuff, and it was a comfortable blowout, 126 to 105 win there for the Celtics, going against an exhausted Lakers squad. Jaylen Brown put up a 30-piece, so anyone who took that prop cashed it, and also anyone who took Boston minus 7 obviously came away with the win there as well. So a little bit of healing on a very, very irritating night of NBA action. I just got done watching the first half there of that Thunder game, and honestly, watching SGA just foul bait the entire game makes it's borderline unwatchable. It's honestly terrible. Like, he's not even trying to score, he's just trying to get fouled. I try not to get into all that, like, it's a little bit ridiculous, and that's not my job to officiate on those kind of things, but it's a little bit annoying. Big basketball guy, sucks to see basketball played that way, but we'll see if we can find a bounce back out here on Saturday. I'm sure a lot of you guys are jonesing for some college football action, but unfortunately with so few college football games left to be played on Saturdays like this, you're gonna have to get over to stumpthespread.com and check out the free section. There'll be free write-ups in there for NCAA football. Definitely get in on that. There'll be a bunch of premium picks over there in the premium section for college football as well here in bowl season. So get in on that if you guys are interested. We're gonna go ahead and dive in and break down this NBA slate. We've got quite a few games. I mean, nothing too crazy, but we got 7 games here on Saturday. And first up, we're going to be looking at the New Orleans Pelicans as they go on the road here to take on the Brooklyn Nets. The Pelicans come into this game 3-20 on the season, so not exactly killing it, but they've gotten lots of covers for us this season, so we do appreciate that. They're fresh off a 125 to 116 loss there against the Timberwolves, although they did keep that game competitive enough to get us the cover. We love what we're seeing from a lot of these guys on the Pelicans right now. Trey Murphy playing great, doing everything he possibly can to keep this team in the mix. Saddiq Bey, although he had a terrible night shooting from 3, still had 20 points in that game. We liked what we saw from Jeremiah Fears. He's playing really, really well. Jose Alvarado, great energy guy off the bench. He's actually shooting the ball pretty well at the moment, and they managed to keep this game competitive against the Timberwolves despite shooting only 7 of 25 from 3. They kept things competitive but did not have any sort of advantage on the board, so overall not really a bad night out there for the Pelicans despite the fact they take the loss. Right now the question for this team is just like, what are they going to do, if anything, around the trade deadline, and are they ever going to get these guys healthy? Herb Jones out for this game. Zion going to be out for quite a while. Jordan Poole still missing time. Now, Jordan Poole's situation is getting a little bit weird. He apparently will not play in this game, but seen getting lots of shots up, lots of, on-court work. So we'll see when he comes back, but no news on if it's going to be super soon. And obviously, Herb Jones, officially ruled out for this game. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Brooklyn Nets, who at 5-17 on the season have not exactly been having a great time. They just lost 123 to 110 against the Jazz their last time out, which snapped a little 2-game winning streak. But but not a lot of big positives there for the Nets. I mean, obviously we didn't see Michael Porter Jr. play in that game, but Noah Clowney, a great game from him, 29 points, 3 of 6 from 3. He shot 12 free throws in that game as well. We saw a crazy amount of free throws in that game in general. Also, Brooklyn not having a great night shooting from 3, definitely missing the shooting there of Michael Porter Jr. We'll see what they can do in this one. Obviously, this isn't a team with an insane amount of talent on it, but it's not like they're in the toughest matchup right now anyway, so we'll see what happens. They also have not been great at home this season. Coming into this game, their injury report looks kind of what you would expect. Michael Porter Jr. will play in this game. Clowney is on the injury report. He's probable, been upgraded to probable there with his back issues, so it sounds like he will be out there, but a back problem can be a pretty big problem. Although if you're 21 years old and having back problems, that's not great. Don't really wish that on anyone. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Nets are 1.5 point favorites at home. We've got a total of 227.5 in this game. The Pelicans are 6-4 against the spread on the road this year. They're 14-9 to the over. Brooklyn's 4-7 against the spread at home this season. They are 13-9 to the under. So yeah, a little bit of a mix there with one team showing trends towards the over, one team showing trends towards the under. The Nets are only 1-10 this season when playing at home, and that's part of the reason we do like the Pelicans here, getting 1.5 or just take them on the money line. Either way, it doesn't really matter too much in this situation. I think they'll probably find a way to beat the Nets in this game, so I think that's a very reasonable play. But I've also got some player props that I think are excellent in this game. And first up, I'll take Saddiq Bey here over 16.5 points at -105. And this is a play that is going straight to the pinned comment. One of my favorite plays of the entire day. Bey's getting a ton of minutes with Zion out. Herb Jones also sidelined, so he's getting lots of minutes in this one. He's put up 18 plus in all of his last 5 games. The Nets are by far the worst teams the Pelicans will have faced over his last 5 games, so I think he's comfortably going to get over this number for us. And this is definitely a play. I mean, honestly, on a kind of shorter slate, could end up being our lock of the day. I also like Jeremiah Fears here over 15.5 points at -125. He's been over this number in the last 4 games in a row. Honestly, he's kind of in the same boat as Bey right now, so I very much think he's going to keep right on cooking. He's an extremely young player, but we have very little reason to worry about him in general. Obviously, young players can be a little bit less consistent, but he's been playing great and is looking very good right now, so I have no problem with taking him to get to at least 16 points in this game. On the net side, I will take Michael Porter Jr. here over 24.5 points at -120. He's been over this number in 4 of his last 5 games, and this looks like a decent spot. I do worry about the possibility of Trey Murphy deciding to lock in on defense and shutting his water off. I'm not saying that's happening for sure, so I do think there's some value here, but this is not a play that I think is going to make the pinned comment. I do like Nick Claxton over 8.5 boards in this game at -110. He's coming off a 9-rebound night against Utah, and with Noah Clowney banged up a little, I think there should be some boards out there for him. I wish this number was a little bit smaller, but there isn't anyone really on the Pelicans that scares me a ton on the glass, so I do think this is a decent spot for Nick Claxton to have a good night. And our last prop on this game, guys, I like Trey Murphy over 3.5 assists at -140. He deserves an insane amount of credit for what he's doing right now on this terrible team. He's coming off a 21.8 assist, 7-rebound game against Minnesota. He's clearly the best asset this team has right now, since Zion clearly isn't going to be able to play basketball on any sort of regular basis. He's never done it over the course of his entire career, so I don't know why we would suddenly think that would start happening now. But Trey Murphy's also been upping the playmaking. It's been really impressive. I think he comfortably gets over those 3.5 assists in this game against a pretty mediocre team. Hey guys, hop in here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college football, and college basketball picks. We're coming off a kind of unfortunate day, a little bit of a letdown day after a big winning day over on the NBA side. Some very bad luck on our NBA player prop. AJ Green getting injured in this game. Our player props have been running into a lot of that recently. It's pretty hard to cash if your guy that you're wagering on gets injured after only playing like 10 minutes in the game. So that was a bit brutal. We do have Siena come through there on the college basketball side. Obviously, we cashed the Celtics there as a 1-unit play, so our biggest play there on the NBA side does come through and comes through very comfortably. So the Canucks to go, North Texas and Boise State there on the college football side. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously a little bit early to tell how good or bad of a day this is going to be, but obviously NBA letting us down. That was a little bit unfortunate, but some bad luck is going to happen from time to time, especially on a sport that has such a huge sample size. Like NBA, vaguely similar to baseball in that you've got so many games all the time. So maybe not the best night there on the premium side, but definitely nothing to get too upset about. And we have tons of premium and free action coming up this weekend on both college football and on the NFL. So definitely want to get over there and check out the premium pick packages. Certainly want to get in on that. Also, if you're missing a college football video from me here today, definitely get over there to stumpthespread.com and get into those free picks that are posted over there. But just as importantly, get on that free email list, guys. That's where you'll find college football write-ups, NFL write-ups, tons of NFL write-ups coming up for this weekend. It's a great, great resource. Look at all the NFL plays that we cached just from the Week 13 email. You definitely got to make sure you get in on that. Do not miss out on those. Those are 5 or 6 NFL touchdown props that we cashed last week. So make sure you're getting on that email list. It's very, very easy to get on our free email newsletter, guys. You just go to stumpthespread.com, either by clicking the link in the description or by typing stumpthespread.com into your browser of choice. Click that little green login button at the top right-hand corner of the screen. That'll prompt you to set up a free account. All they're going to ask you for is your name and your email address. That's it. You'll get one email straight to your inbox every single day, loaded with tons of great sports betting information, free picks, parlays, information on niche sports betting, and every weekend tons of NFL touchdown props. So don't miss out on that. Also, if you're a huge fan of what we're doing here every single day, you can click that little join button. Also, a very, very new thing over there at stumpthespread.com. If you go on the mobile site, so type stumpthespread.com into your mobile device, there will be a shop button. You can now purchase Stump the Spread hoodies for the first time ever. We're running a sale here right out of the gate, so definitely get on that. If you've been dying to have a Stump the Spread hoodie, get one over there at stumpthespread.com. It's easy. You just very straightforward to purchase one, and you can have it within a week. So definitely get in on that if you want a hoodie, a Stump the Spread hoodie. They're actually very, very warm hoodies for the holiday season that is now available to you for the first time ever. So definitely take advantage of that. And also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, you can click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name on screen in every single video, but maybe most importantly, get access to our members only giveaways. We give away a Stump the Spread hoodie, a $50 value, free here every single week to one random YouTube channel member. I love doing these giveaways, guys. We do one every single week, every single Monday. We put the name of every single YouTube channel member on a big wheel. We spin that wheel live on the video, and whoever it lands on gets a Stump the Spread hoodie mailed straight to their address of choice. So you certainly want to make sure you're taking advantage of that if you want to become a YouTube channel member. Also, I love all my super fans, the YouTube channel members. Makes me feel really, really good. There's like 110 of you guys that, support me enough that you're willing to give me $5 each month, or I get about half of that from YouTube. You know how it works. So I appreciate all of you. Let's go ahead and dive back in. We've got a lot more games to cover here on a pretty interesting little Saturday slate. And next up, we're going to be looking at the Atlanta Hawks as they go on the road here to take on the Washington Wizards. The Hawks come into this game fresh off a pretty brutal 134-133 loss there against the Nuggets after getting off to such an insane start in that game. I'm sure they thought they had it in the bag. They were up 41-23 in the first quarter and just couldn't hold on there. Jokic had a massive day against them. Nickeil Alexander-Walker had a great day there for Atlanta, though, putting up 30 points in his 34 minutes. Jalen Johnson, actually not a great shooting night. He did have a triple-double, so obviously not a bad night. 21 points, 18 boards, and 16 assists. Nuts. That dude is probably going to be an all-star this year, and it's if he can stay healthy. So that's a nice development there for the Hawks, but it does all come in a loss. So that has to be a little bit devastating. Porzingis, a great shooting night for him. 25 points off the bench in 20 minutes. I mean, this team did pretty much everything you would think they would need to do, and they still just come up 1 point short. So kind of brutal. They had a good shooting night. We did see Denver shoot close to double the free throws, so that's not ideal. Atlanta had a slight edge there on the boards, but really what we're thinking about now is who's going to be available for them to play here on back-to-back nights. I am very concerned that we will not see Jalen Johnson in this game. That is a bit problematic. We also kind of don't think we'll see Porzingis. Maybe that's not the end of the world. Potentially open up some minutes for some other guys. Richeche, not having the best season. He's somebody that could maybe use some extra run, and maybe you could turn that into something positive. The Hawks have lost 3 in a row. We don't have a fully updated injury report for this game, obviously, since they're playing on back-to-back nights, so we'll keep an eye on that, but it is getting a little bit closer to time for Trae Young to be reevaluated, so that'll be a big boost for Atlanta whenever he can come back. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Washington Wizards, who are having a pretty terrible time, honestly. They're coming off that 146-101 loss there to the Celtics. They do, they did get a day of rest in between that game, so that's something that Atlanta doesn't have. We'll see if that makes the difference here for them. The Wizards, I mean, they're making a run of being the worst team in the NBA this year. There's no question about that. Middleton is doing a pretty solid job auditioning for other teams. 16 points in his 25 minutes and 7 of 12 from the field. Marvin Bagley only 5 points in that blowout loss. Keyshawn George actually shot the ball really well in that loss. McCollum just continues to feel like one of the more hated players in the NBA at this point. I mean, we'll see how things go for him down the stretch, but he played well, 31 minutes, minutes, 22 points, 7 and 15 from the field. He's another guy that should be auditioning for other teams, but all this comes in a game where they lost by 45, so let's not give him too much credit here. That was a pretty bleak performance there from the Wizards, and they come into this game still pretty banged up. We see Kualabe on the injury report, Alex Sarr on the injury report, Trey Johnson, Corey Kispert, Cam Whitmore all on the injury report, and yeah, Kualabe with his oblique issue, he's going to be out for a while. Sarr dealing with that thigh issue, he will not be playing in this game. Trey Johnson with that hip flexor does have no timetable for his return. Kispert dealing with that broken thumb, he's going to be out for a bit, and Cam Whitmore questionable for this game due to an illness. Right now, whatever the illness is going around the NBA locker rooms, seems like they're being able to play through it mostly, so I kind of assume that he'll play in this game. So looking at the numbers, guys, the Wizards are getting 8.5 points here at home. We've got a total of 235.5. Atlanta, they are 9-5 against spread on the road this year. So very good against spread on the road team. They are 3-2 against spread on no rest. So over 500 against spread on no rest. They are 13-11 to the over. Washington is 2-7 against the spread at home this year. They are 13-8 to the over themselves. So maybe we could just slightly think about an over 235.5 spot in this game. I don't think taking the over is unreasonable, but significantly better than that, guys. I do think this is an excellent spot to back the Atlanta Hawks. They played at home in Atlanta, then have to fly to Washington. That's not that crazy. So I think they'll be fine here in this travel spot. Even if Jalen Johnson doesn't play, I think the Hawks could get the win and cover in this one by double digits. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Golden State Warriors going on the road to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Warriors come into this game 11-12 on the season, fresh off that 1-point loss against the 76ers. Obviously, an injury to Steph has really derailed things, and part of the idea behind this whole Jimmy Butler situation was like, if Steph misses time or Jimmy misses time, hopefully the other one can just like step up, kind of slot into that position and, take some of the burden, help this team stay afloat. Well, now they're both injured, so that's not great. They could have won that game against the 76ers. Obviously, Pat Spencer going nuts out there, but Steve Kerr still deciding to play Pajemski more minutes. That's kind of an interesting idea there. We'll see if he continues to do that kind of stuff. Pat Spencer did end up playing slightly more minutes, but obviously played way better. D'Anthony Melton making his season debut, and he played great in his 21 minutes. Maybe he's the guy that can carry this team while everybody's injured. Buddy Hield had a good shooting night. Kuminga was terrible. That's a situation that just continues to deteriorate. Pajemski playing terrible is not great. Moody had a little bit of a bounce back, but Draymond going down with a foot injury, and Al Horford just seems like he's having a straight up garbage time there in Golden State. So we'll see if any of that turns itself around anytime soon, but it's not looking ideal, and the injury report for the Warriors is very bleak. Steph, obviously not going to be back quite yet. Sounds like it's going to be a little bit here. Probably going to miss at least one more or two more games, but obviously there's really no timetable for that. Jimmy Butler on the injury report for this game. Draymond Green on there as well. So is D'Anthony Melton and Al Horford. Now, Jimmy, he's dealing with his knee issue. He's questionable for this game, so it sounds like there is a real chance that he could end up playing, but Jimmy is kind of famous for keeping that kind of stuff close to the vest. If it wasn't for the existence of Kawhi, he would maybe be the most elusive up in the air, like, is this dude going to play on a nightly basis or not? Draymond dealing with that foot issue is questionable. I don't really think Draymond wants to play basketball if Steph's not going to play. Suffered some sort of right foot injury. I mean, he was in a walking boot post-game. There's no way he plays in this one. D'Anthony Melton, left knee injury management, is officially questionable. I'd be a little bit surprised to see him sit this one out. I do think we'll see Melton play in this game. Al Horford, he's listed as out for this one due to right sciatic nerve irritation. Get him out. I don't care. Trading back to Boston. I'm over that. He's been a huge bust here for the Warriors. So we'll see who the Warriors actually have available here as they head to Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers, who staged a massive comeback there maybe not massive, but a big comeback there against the Spurs to screw us out of our Spurs plus 5.5 play. A 130-117 win there for Cleveland. And I mean, I don't really know what to say about this. They just went nuts in the second half and outscored San Antonio pretty massively there, 44-19 in the third quarter. That was nuts. As a team, they shot 58% from the field, only 8 of 26 from the three-point line, so nothing too crazy there. They shot more free throws. They had 10 more rebounds in this game. Mobley was apparently so sick he was going to potentially miss this game. Well, he played 32 minutes, had 17 points, 10 boards, 5 assists. So I don't know how much I really believe that. DeAndre Hunter, not a monster game. Donovan Mitchell continues to just do Donovan Mitchell things. Only 1 of 5 from 3, but a good night from him, and Jalen Tyson. Really, it was kind of the impetus behind this. 24 points, 11 of 15 from the field, and 2 of 4 from 3. Seems that they might have struck gold on him. The bench was okay too. Dean Wade actually had a great game, and Craig Porter Jr. played well. So yeah, overall, just not anything the Spurs apparently could do. They're not at full strength, but the Cavaliers get a kind of rare win and cover for them. So we'll see what they can do. Right now, this is just a first, very, very new line. We don't know if this is where the line is actually going to land. Garland and Jarrett Allen and Sam Merrill are all listed as out for this game. We don't have 1,000% confidence that they'll all be out, although we would kind of think so. Now, looking at the numbers, like I was saying, this is a brand new just out line, so this could fluctuate wildly. The Cavaliers are showing at -5.5. We've got a total of 227.5. The Warriors are 5-8 against spread on the road. They are 14-9 to the over. Cleveland's 4-10 against the spread at home, 2-3 against spread on no rest, 13-11 to the under. This is a very, very weird and hard to figure out spot with so much still up in the air right now. I'm going to lean slightly towards the Cavaliers here at -5.5 playing at home, but keep a very close eye on this. This is actually a day where you really want to make sure you're checking back on that pinned comment because we could have to adjust this drastically. Like if a real line comes out here right when I'm finished recording this video, I'm not going to put Cleveland -5.5 in the pinned comment. I'm going to have to adjust. So we'll see. I do think the Warriors play hard on a nightly basis. A lot of those bench guys could have a decent night and the Cavaliers could be tired. So just keep a very close eye on this one. A small lean right now on this initial line towards the Cavaliers. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Milwaukee Bucks going on the road to take on the Detroit Pistons. The Bucks are fresh off a 116-101 loss there against the 76ers. They'll be playing on no rest in this game, but both teams will be playing on no rest. In that loss, that 15-point loss against the 76ers, didn't love a lot of what we saw from Milwaukee, honestly. Like, no Giannis is a pretty bad deal, but we did finally see something decent from Miles Turner. 19 points in that game. 2 boards is not a great look, but only played 23 minutes. Jericho Sims, a terrible day in his 30 minutes. He looked awful. Kevin Porter Jr., though, a very good day there. AJ Green getting hurt, so sinking our player prop was not great. I don't expect him to play in this one. Ryan Rollins continues to play pretty well. Bobby Portis, a monster game, 22 points from him. 14 very efficient points there from Kyle Kuzma. You don't see that every night. And Gary Trent Jr., I mean, he was out there for 24 minutes, had 6 points. So we'll see what they can do in this one. Not a great shooting night. Also didn't have a great time there on the board. So we'll see who the Bucks have available here playing on back-to-back days. There's not a lot of guys that I think would sit this out. Potentially Kevin Porter Jr., but I kind of tend to think he'll play in this game. AJ Green doesn't sound... I'd be shocked to see if he actually played in this one. So we'll see if they can continue to put up some solid effort here as they go on the road to take on the Detroit Pistons, who at 18-5 on the year are playing really well. They're coming off a big game last night against the Trailblazers where they won 122-116. It was definitely not a walkover. They gave up 35 points to Denny Adjeva, who's starting to develop a SGA variety of whistle. He had 15 free throws in that game, but Cade had a big performance. He puts up 29 points. Duncan Robinson comes back and knocks down 4 out of 6 threes. That's a solid night. Isaiah Stewart playing well off the bench. Ronald Holland playing well off the bench. Jaden Ivey's actually hit a bit of a downturn off the bench here recently. We'll see if he can figure things out, but Asar Thompson putting up 15 points. Like, overall, a very good night out there from the Pistons, and they didn't play a crazy amount of minutes. I mean, it's not like they rested, but they didn't play anything nuts. Like, Cade played 36, Duncan Robinson played 34. Like, I think they could be okay here playing on no rest. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, the injury report is not as updated as you would want it to be, so keep an eye on that, see if they rest anybody. I mean, the candidates to be rested here, I would think, would be guys like potentially Cade, maybe Tobias Harris or something like that. But I do tend to think they'll be at pretty close to full strength for this game. I mean, they're just playing at home. They're not having to travel or anything like that. So looking at the numbers, the Pistons are 12.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 223. Milwaukee's 3-7 against the spread on the road, 1-3 against the spread on no rest, 12-11 to the under. Detroit 6-4 against spread at home, 2-2 against spread on no rest, and basically a 500 over-under team. No massive lean here on the total, maybe a tiny lean towards over, but I do think we have to back the Pistons here at -12.5. It's too big of a spread for me to put it in the pinned comments, so I'm not too interested in that in this particular spot, but I do think we will see, see the Pistons come away with a comfortable win in this one. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Sacramento Kings going on the road to take on the Miami Heat. The Kings are 5-17 on the season. They just got beat by, 26 by the Rockets there in Houston the last time they were out. And yeah, they've lost 4 in a row. Things are not heading the Sacramento Kings' way whatsoever this season. I mean, in that loss, we saw, nothing great. Not a lot of dudes out there putting in, the main guys are not doing much. I mean, Reynald, 25 points for him. So that's great. That's a great development. Malik Monk, 25 points, 5 of 8 from 3. He's been playing amazing. I can't believe how dumb the Warriors are. They'd rather have Kuminga not play than Monk play every night and put up 25 pieces for him. I have no idea what that's about. Westbrook, 12 points in his 28 minutes. Keegan Murray, 37 minutes, 5 points, 2 of 11 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. Yikes. I just don't have a lot of positive things to say about this team. Zach LaVine played 19 minutes, scored 2 points. The wheels are coming off. Please, for the love of God, trade all these guys away and get them somewhere else. It's time to tank, Sacramento. Why you're trying to win games at this point is just absolutely nuts to me. So we'll see what they can do in this one. Obviously, the injury report for them looking, fine, I guess. Dennis Schroeder's still out. Obviously, we have no indication that we're going to see Sabonis back playing on this team, maybe ever. So we'll see how that goes. But they're healthy, going on the road here to take on the Miami Heat, who are 14-9, coming off a tough 106-105 loss there against the Orlando Magic in Orlando. So not much of a travel spot there for the Miami Heat, just having to travel, from Orlando to Miami. That's not too brutal of a flight. Obviously, that's going to be a real quick one. So we'll see. We'll see if they can bounce back a little bit. They have lost 2 in a row. We liked a lot of what we saw from the Heat in that game, honestly. Wiggins had a good night, did knock down a couple threes. 13 points is not a great night, but was very efficient with his shooting. Bam had 24 very efficient points, 28 for Norman Powell. Davion Mitchell, 10 points in his 28 minutes, 16 points from Jaime Jaquez Jr. coming off the bench. They only shot 19 threes in the game. That's not a great look, and only shot 67% from the free throw line. That's part of why they lost this game. They had a little edge there on the boards. It's a 1-point game. Could have went either way. The Heat had to make a little bit of a comeback there after a weak third quarter, so we'll see if they've got to bounce back in them here. They could not slow down Franz Wagner. Well, I don't think there's anybody as good as Franz Wagner on the Sacramento Kings right now. So we'll see what the Heat can do in this game, see what the injury report looks like. Tyler Hero did miss that game against the Magic, dealing with that toe issue. I think there's a chance he comes back for this one, but yeah. Oh, wait, no, he had an MRI. Oh, he did actually have an MRI. Okay, I would be shocked if he actually plays in this game then. That's, wow. I didn't realize that toe situation was that serious. So I don't think we'll see Tyler Hero in this game. Despite that, the Heat are 7.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 240.5. The Kings are 5-7 against spread on the road, 12-10 to the under. Miami's 8-4 against spread at home, 2-1 against spread on no rest, and 12-11 to the over. I like the Heat here a decent amount at -7.5. You could also talk me into over 240.5, but I think the Heat are the way we want to go here. Playing at home, I think there are plenty of distractions there in Miami for the Sacramento Kings team. I think the Heat going back home is actually going to be a pretty big net positive for them. And yeah, they could have definitely won that game against the Magic, and they had won this game. What does this number look like? I don't expect Hero to play, but I think if they would have won this game, it'd probably be 9. So getting a couple free points of value, definitely give me the Miami Heat. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the Los Angeles Clippers going on the road to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Clippers are 6-17 on the season. Can't believe we were dumb enough to get burnt by the Clippers there last night. They end up losing 107-98 there against the Grizzlies, giving up a lead in that game, which, I should not be shocked at all to see. The Clippers have been one of the saddest situations in the NBA all season long. Tons and tons of off-court drama. Turns out the roster wasn't even nearly as good as people thought it was. All that drama with Chris Paul seems insane to me. Kawhi, 24 points in his 35 minutes. Maybe he can get up there and make another speech into microphones about how they need more talent on the roster. Maybe they just need you to play basketball. That could be it. Or maybe, you're supposed to be the talent buddy. You and Harden are supposed to be amazing. Harden had 18. Kawhi had 24, and you lost to the Memphis Grizzlies by 9 points. Not a good look. The bench looks horrible for this team, though. I will give them that. Although Kobe Brown has played well the last few games. They shot 32% from 3. Nothing too special there. Don't do a great job of getting to the free throw line. They got dominated on the boards in this game. And yeah, maybe they should be featuring Zubac more in the offense. I don't even know at this point, but I do know life is getting very, very bleak for the LA Clippers, and it's going to be a long time before we are backing this team again in any sort of meaningful way. Now, they are playing on no rest. This might not be a super updated injury report, but we're obviously not going to see Derrick Jones Jr. coming back yet. Harden or Kawhi could be missing this game, playing on back-to-back nights. We'll see what happens. I would be a little bit shocked if we saw both of them play in this game, especially Kawhi, but who knows at this point? Who knows what's going on there? So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are 14-8 on the season. They are not playing on no rest here. They've won 4 straight games. Winning, a 2-game set there in New Orleans isn't exactly that amazing of a feat, but they do make it happen. A 125-116 win there in New Orleans in Game 2. Julius Randle, 28 points, 9 of 18 from the field. He played well. He was a +6. Ant was a +10. Only scored 11 points. Didn't really have to do much offensively. Dante DiVincenzo, Rudy Gobert, Jaden McDaniels, all playing great in this game. Naz Reid, 19 points off the bench. Jalen Clark, 12 points off the bench. A very good all-around team effort. They also had a good time on the boards in this game and didn't need overtime like they needed in game 1 there against the Pelicans. So we'll see how locked in they are for this one. Maybe a little revenge angle here for the Timberwolves here, taking on a Clippers team that's been so bad this year. We'll see if that happens. The injury report here for Minnesota looks very, very clean. They're a very, very healthy team. I just don't know if they're good enough to like compete with the big dogs, but right now they're not playing a big dog. They're playing the lowly Los Angeles Clippers. The Timberwolves are 7.5-point favorites here at time of recording, so we'll see if we can actually make sure that one is a locked-in real spread. A lot of these spreads, got reported a little bit early and a little bit sketchily. Yeah, we're seeing big changes already. It looks like the Timberwolves are -9.5 actually. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and lock in that -9.5 right now. Get on those Timberwolves as early as you can because that number is only gonna go up. I expect them to comfortably win this game by double digits because the Clippers are only 5-8 against spread on the road. They're 1-3 against spread on no rest. Minnesota's only 4-6 against spread at home, so nothing amazing, but I think they comfortably win this game. Last but not least, guys, we've got the Houston Rockets going on the road to take on the Dallas Mavericks. The Rockets 15-5 on the season. They're coming off back-to-back wins. Taking down the Kings and the Suns isn't anything too special, but hey, they will definitely take it. They will be playing on no rest here, so we'll see how that goes. But in that win over the Suns, a 117-98 win, they do take care of business. Obviously, it's a very, very limited version there of the Suns roster, but Kevin Durant, 28 points. He's absolutely cooking out there. Jabari Smith Jr., a very good game as well. Amen Thompson, a monster performance. 31 points, 12 of 17 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3, made all 6 of his free throws. A very, very good night from him. And we saw Aaron Holiday and Reed Shepherd both scoring double figures coming off the bench. The Rockets shot 10 of 18 from 3 in this game. That's pretty nuts. Now, this is a team that lacks outside shooting, and at some point that's going to become an issue for them, but not a problem in this game. They make 10 out of 18. They just absolutely cruise. Steven Adams getting 30 minutes out there with Sengun being a late scratch, and they still win this game very, very comfortably. So well played there by the Houston Rockets. I'm sure they're more than content with that performance. The injury report obviously isn't fully updated. Sengun being a late scratch due to an illness. I think there's a decent chance he suits up for this game, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, a lot of the guys with this, whatever's going through the NBA locker rooms right now, have been playing through it, so I kind of doubt that he would miss back-to-back games. But we'll see what happens here as they head to Dallas to take on the Mavericks, who are getting absolute... Oh, no, they're making a little comeback. They're only down by 21 now against the Thunder, so hopefully the Thunder let go of the rope a little bit, and the Mavs can make this, a close enough game that we can get the cover at least, but not loving what we're seeing from Anthony Davis so far in this game. That is absolutely for sure. Clay also having a bit of a down shooting night again, which is a little bit unfortunate. AD has 0 points in his 20 minutes. Looking like a pretty reasonable guy to trade for Luka, right? Right? Yeah, well, anyway, this just not loving what we're seeing from the Mavs in this current game, although they're going up against the Thunder, who are getting absolutely every call. Already have 22 free throws in this game. SGA shot 10 free throws in less than 3 quarters. So that's kind of where the NBA is at right now. I'm a little bit irritated by that. But anyway, I'm not going to dive too much deeper into that. Obviously, we don't have a updated injury report here for the Mavs. We kind of expect everybody to play here on the back end of a back-to-back. Although Anthony Davis would be a concern, I do think there's a chance that PJ Washington could potentially come back for this game on the second half of a back-to-back. Gafford also a possibility to come back, and both of those additions would definitely help here for the Mavs. They are currently getting 10.5 points in this game. We've got a total of 227.5. Houston's 9-2 against the spread on the road. That's an NBA best mark. We actually don't have a clear mark right now. Let's see if we can get a little help. Yeah, it sounds like maybe Houston's 0-1 against the spread on no rest this season, but I'm not 1,000% sure that's correct. They've only played 1 back-to-back this year. That seems impossible. They are 11-7-1 to the over. Dallas, they're 6-8 against spread at home, 3-2 against spread on no rest, 15-8 to the under. That's an NBA best to the under. I actually think this is a pretty reasonable spot to back under 227.5. I don't love taking unders in the NBA, but I do think this is a very reasonable spot to back the under. In terms of a side, I'm going to lean just slightly towards the Mavericks here, getting 10.5 points, but that is very, very up in the air. This won't be going anywhere near the pinned comment until we have a clear picture here on, whether guys like Anthony Davis and PJ Washington are going to play in this game for the Mavericks. And Anthony Davis playing on back-to-back nights seems like a very, very big ask. Guys, that's all the games we have out there for today. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description to check out stumpthespread.com. That's where you can find free picks on the college football bowl games right now. That's where you can check out our premium picks. That's where you can get where you can buy a Stump the Spread hoodie if you're interested in that, and that's also where you can get on that free email newsletter. So definitely check that out, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.